to go. Tap is controlled by North Carolina State. Man-for-man defense by North Carolina. And lob pass inside to Pender. Blocked by Wood on the outside. Grabbed by Pender. Stolen by Dudley Bradley. He comes up with a steal in the first flurry of the ball game. Give and go to Bradley. Baseline. Bradley fires it out to O'Korn. Works inside. Chop block. And taken by O'Korn. O'Korn. Jeff Wolf for the baseline. Both teams playing with great intensity here at the outset. Dudley Bradley trying to see if his steal will hold up here to get North Carolina off in the into the first lead. Zone defense by State at 2-3. North Carolina's not a good outside shooting team. Dudley Bradley from the corner. And in and out goes down to Hawkeye Whitney. And State now get another chance to break on top. Right now they've got O'Korn guarding Whitney. And a walking against Clyde the Glide Austin. Nice little move in there by Jed Doughton. No score in the opening minute. 1 minute and 5 seconds gone by.
Jim, I heard you mention that zone. You can see where they're starting out with a zone. Everybody down inside that foul line going to force North Carolina to take some outside shots. Very seldom see a zone packed in that deeply before the game even starts.
Wood on the outside. Hawkeye Whitney goes to the floor to get it on a big rebound.
North Carolina straight man-to-man against the motion.
Beautiful. Underneath, there's Warren left open. Dudley Bradley left this man to double team. And Warren gives State the opening lead, 2-0.
Excellent pass by Hawkeye Whitney that time. Plenty of smoke on it.
Here's the zone. Penetration by O'Korn, but it's tipped out of bounds by State.
Dudley Bradley's fast hand saved him on offense that time.
All right, look at the zone here. 5 guys almost holding hands for State.
They're going to force that outside shot, and here's where Dave Colescott will be sorely missed. Gives them an added dimension out there with a 20-foot range shot.
It'll be up to Al Wood, and Jed Doughton probably take the outside shot for North Carolina. Doughton in trouble.
You notice how Dudley Bradley plays that odd spot down along the baseline. That's a good passing lane for North Carolina because it allows him, if he touches the ball, to dish off well.
And there goes Doughton on the outside, down to Hawkeye Whitney. State off and running with a 2-0 lead. Austin under to Pender. And there's a personal foul. Going to be charging against Clyde Austin. Didn't check up on the fast break, his first one.
Well, there's a case where Jed Doughton had to make the decision of whether to go ahead and hold for the charge or to go ahead and play defense. He decided to hold for the charge and let 2 men wide open underneath, but it was a smart move on his part.
North Carolina now has gone 2.5 minutes without a score. It's 2-0. State on top. Only basket by Tony Warren. Working for the outside shot. Put inside. O'Korn. Bounce pass broken up by Hawkeye Whitney. Whitney for North Carolina State. Zipped that ball out to Tiny Pender. And State's defense thus far has forced North Carolina to stay outside. Each time they've tried to go in, they've usually have forced a turnover. Pender on the baseline.
Tiny likes that turnaround jumper. I think North Carolina, Jim's going to have to pull out a little bit with their offense. The passing lanes are not going to be there on the inside. They're either going to have to penetrate with a dribble, as O'Korn likes to do, or take the outside jumper by bringing in a guy like Virgil that can hit it out there to get something generated.
O'Korn inside. There goes Bradley, and there's a foul against Hawkeye Whitney. Well, looked like Whitney had a spectacular block, but he caught him with the body, apparently. Let's see.
Well, I think the Hawk is really pumped up. You see the penetration by O'Korn to create a passing lane, which really helps. Bradley had it, and here comes Hawkeye. Now, he really did make a good block there, and I think the call was for what he did with his chest by knocking Bradley aside.
Dudley Bradley at the line. He's staring into a sea of arms behind him here, the end zone at Reynolds Coliseum, averaging 10 points a game. State in the lead by 4-0.
Jimmy's averaging 10 a game on offense and about 15 a game on defense.
At least.
Full court
4-1. North
pressure.
Carolina gets its first point of the ball game. Little pressure, kind of passive pressure in backcourt, pulling away now, still in the man-for-man. Contrasting styles of defense. Now Pender corner again. There's Warren following. And a tip up and a foul by Watts. He reached over the back. Craig Watts picks up the third team foul against State. And North Carolina will get the ball from backcourt.
Jim, that last shot, I give you an idea what you talk about by a man's range. Now, Tiny Pender's in his range right there. Quite surprising that he would throw it that far away. Tony Warren just a little bit too anxious putting the shot up, and here comes Watts over the back.
State leads 4-1. North Carolina looking for its first field goal. We've played 3 minutes and 35 seconds.
Well, the jumper's there from the position Doughton's in right now. He's got to go ahead and get that pass and take that jump shot right away because he's got time to get it off.
North Carolina still trying to work inside to get the shorter shot. Al Wood from the right wing. Rebound by Dudley Bradley. Works inside for a layup, and there's Wood to follow. Al Wood gets the first basket out almost exactly 4 minutes into the first half for North Carolina. 4-3 in favor of State.
State's a tough team to press with Clyde Austin out there. He quite a field general, handles the ball well. Good.
Oh, that's by Dudley Bradley. Spectacular block by Bradley, his second big defensive play in the first 4 minutes.
Well, that was a good lob pass that time. Craig Watts just didn't handle it quickly enough.
Here's Bradley at the other end. Bradley hits and a foul on the play. North Carolina takes the lead.
Foul on Pender.
Bradley playing well at both ends of the court, and that flurry. Watch him in action.
Well, this is a great play because Bradley is nowhere near Watts when this play started to develop.
Now there's timeout on the court. The score, North Carolina 5, North Carolina State 4.
For the passing lanes, he has to be happy to have a lead, particularly when it took him about 3 minutes, Jim, to get his first point.
Almost 4 to get the first basket. Dudley Bradley here trying for a three-point play, and he has 4 of North Carolina's 6 points. 6-4, North Carolina with a 2-point lead.
Zone press this time, a trap.
And they got Hawkeye Whitney loose. Hawkeye, that's normally his spot. Bradley's there for the rebound. Back in the zone. North Carolina State very tight, 2-3.
But they're trying to match up a little bit now, depending on how many men that Carolina has out front. O'Koren playing the top of the key. He's tough up there, good penetrator.
Top shooter is here on the near side, number 30, Al Wood. There's Doughton far side.
That's the spot right over there, Jim, and both Wood and Doughton. Now what they're trying to do is move the ball over away from Wood so they can swing it back and have him get the good jump shot.
Now here's a zone by North Carolina. They're going back to their 2-3.
Good pass.
Watts. Ooh, stuffed by Craig Watts. What a play. 8-6, State cuts it to 2.
That's when you like to see a big man come meet the ball, Jim, and that's what he did that time. Created a good passing lane for himself.
North Carolina in a 1-3-1 offensive setup, and State staying in a 2-3 zone.
Which is always a good principle. Try to go ahead and split whatever the defense is doing. Still they're working away from Wood, trying to get him open for the shot on a quick swing over here.
Keeping him on the weak side. There goes inside O'Koren in traffic. Rebound by Hawkeye Whitney, fouled on the play by Jeff Wall. Pretty good strategy here, Bill.
Well, this was an excellent move by Watts. Coming to meet the ball. Big guys that do that and come right at it, and a great shot on his part, the good stuff, and you can see Wood up there trying to make a block. It's hard to block one when the guy flushes it down with his elbow.
Watts, 6'11" sophomore from southeastern Massachusetts, beat out Glenn Setup for the #1 center spot. Backhand, go down the middle of Warren. He couldn't handle it. Was a beautiful executed pass, all right. It just bobbled it.
That was a well-executed play, except from the last part, which is a fundamental bounce pass.
8-6, North Carolina by 2. Doughton hit there a moment ago, 2 in a row.
Now, Jed Doughton's doing a smart thing, Jim. He realizes he's open over there, so he's getting prepared for his jump shot even before he catches the ball.
10-6. Here's a Hawkeye Whitney up over O'Koren. Rebound is taken off by Yoniker. North Carolina's got the ball. Yoniker has replaced Wolf at center.
Dean Smith telling his team to get the ball down court quickly. Another principle you want to use to try to beat the zone.
Try to get a shot off before they can set it up. State's a pretty quick team, maybe the quickest team in the ACC, Bill, all the way around.
The one thing that State has to get over in this game is that uncertainty. You know, when you're 0-3, Jim, you start playing a little tight. And that's something that they have to get that good stretch run here to get some confidence.
Call this a crucial game for them?
No question. And North Carolina, I think, right now playing with an awful lot of confidence.
10-6. 4-point lead by North Carolina. They've actually outscored State 10-2 because State was off a lead 4-0. Now substitution for both teams, including a 7-foot, 3-inch Chuck Nevitt, number 52. Tallest player in the ACC this year. Looks very much like Tommy Burleson did as a young freshman. He's now in. Nevitt, a freshman from Marietta, Georgia. And John Virgil, a good outside shooter in for North Carolina. Yes, Bill.
Well, now they have Virgil and Wood in the ball game, and Jimmy Black, who's starting to get a lot of confidence playing at point guard. So they'll not be hesitant at all to shoot from the wings now with both Wood and Virgil in the game.
Here's Black on the outside the zone. Rebound out to Clyde Austin, off on the fast break. Down against Jimmy Black, who broke it up. Jimmy Black's quick hands. Here comes Al Wood down. Al Wood driving. And what a block. Tremendous block. And here's the other.
Oh, and he's going to be a technical foul.
Technical foul, I do believe.
Now, this is going to be an interesting call.
Yeah. Personal foul. Let's see what happens.
Now, Norm Sloan's going to say that his man was cut. Therefore, that wouldn't be a technical because he was trying to protect himself. Now, I'm anxious to see how Lenny handles it.
Well, let's take another look at it, Bill.
Well, Lenny Wirtz is a real experienced official. Here we come to break down the other end of the court. We saw some great action here. Good play by Jimmy Black. Excellent pass by Yoniker. Over to Wood. This is super camera work, fellas. Right on it. Here comes the Hawk out of nowhere. He holds it up. Now we go the other way. Good pass coming down here. Here comes Tiny in, making a play. Now, he obviously was not cut. By cut, I'm talking about somebody trying to take his legs out. He went up and grabbed the rim, and therefore it's obviously going to be a technical foul on Tiny Pender. But he also is going to get a chance to shoot, too.
Okay, Pender will be out the line. It's going to be a false double foul, which means North Carolina gets the ball, Bill, because it creates a jump ball. And I think NC State got the opening tip. I believe it'll go to North Carolina. Okay, and Pender at the line, 2 shots.
And the reason for that, Jim, obviously, is because Pender was fouled on that play. Had he not been fouled and gone up there and grabbed the rim, then we'd have an entirely different situation.
Now the technical shot, and Al Wood will be down here to shoot the technical. Leading scorer for North Carolina this year, 16.8. Less than a point a game above Michael Corrin.
And what Norm is finding out right now, he is really upset. There will be 2 shots.
Hey, I think the technical might have been against Sloan.
No.
Nope.
2 shots because there were 2 down the other way.
Good call, Bill. And North Carolina's going to get the ball, I'm sure, because it's their rotation on the jump ball situation.
Well, that's the part that's really difficult. You know, this is almost a clinic on the rules right here. Because of no jump balls that you just pointed out, and I'd forgotten all about that, Jim, as we're back on the rotation deal again. So Carolina comes out very well on that particular play.
Okay, they get the ball at midcourt. Not because it was a technical, but because it was a false double foul jump ball situation.
That's right, in their jump ball turn.
Al Wood on the outside. Wood now with 5 points. North Carolina's got its biggest lead, 13-7. Jimmy Black forcing now here goes Hawkeye Whitney off the perimeter. Whitney gets his first basket, 13-9, back to 4. Now it's beginning to warm up a little bit, Bill.
Well, Hawkeye is playing so well, Jim. He shooting well, taking good shots, rebounding, just a real man out there.
Oh, Corrin inside Wood, what a good play, and he's tied up on the play. State will get the ball.
Boy,
great block by young
Nevitt.
Nevitt.
It should be NC State's ball. Of course, it's their turn now. Now here's Nevitt holding his ground, staying down, reaching up there and making the block. Good play, and State takes over because it was their turn.
Oh, the jump ball situation now favors the Wolfpack. They'll get the ball from backcourt off the defensive play by young Nevitt. And with 11:52 to go, there's a timeout on the court with the score. North Carolina
last year. Well, he was a freshman last year and a freshman this year, but from an eligibility standpoint, he didn't play last year, so he in effect was a holdout.
5 years to get you 4 in. Outside, Clyde the Glide Austin. Rebound by the little man, Jed Doughton off the break.
Clyde really took a shot from a little bit too far out there. Maybe not for him, but considering the situation in the game, you want a better shot than that.
Against the zone, North Carolina is still looking to penetrate. They're flashing to a man to the high post right now, rotating Yoniker and Wood in there at the moment. They've changed strategy a little bit, Bill.
Well, they still sticking with their offense, and really the play, though, is to go to the weak side.
There goes Yoniker up, and he's fouled on the play. Let's see, the foul's going to be against Austin or Matthews.
I think it's Matthews, yeah.
Yep.
Coming up over the top. Kind of raked the ball away. Here we see Doughton taking a shot, coming up a little short. Good block out by Yoniker. Has position there, knocks everybody out of the way. Now here you see Matthews coming across the top and actually got all the ball that time. He just probably was a little too violent with the block, but he didn't hit much of the hands.
Both these teams have struggled all season long thus far at the free throw line. North Carolina as a team isn't hitting that well from the free throw line. NC State hitting 67%, and North Carolina hitting about 67.6. Rebound is off by Nevitt. Now State's got a chance to cut it to 2 with 11 minutes to go in the first half.
That was good basketball instinct by Nevitt, not to go up there and pull it out from while it was in the cylinder.
Matthews, excellent outside shooter. Kenny Matthews cuts it to 2 at 13-11, 10:55 to go in the first half.
Fundamentally, I think that Matthews and Al Wood are probably two of the most pure shooters we have in the league. As far as a kid who wants to watch a style, they've got the style.
Got to put Greg Coles of Clemson in there somewhere too, I guess.
Not to say that there aren't others, Jim, but those two are two great ones to copy.
Here's Yoniker and Bradley in a little 2-on-2. Now they spot O'Korn left open. Nice play. A good feed off on the inside by Yoniker.
Just one little step by O'Korn created a passing lane that time.
15-11. North Carolina by 4. Broken up by Dudley Brad. Nope, it is Virgil on the steal. Down to O'Korn, who kicks it in, and O'Korn is fouled and scores. Hawkeye Whitney on the foul. O'Korn with a chance for a three-pointer as North Carolina goes up 6 again.
Well, give Whitney a lot of credit for hustling down the court, but that was a fast break that was set up once again by defense. That time Virgil stepped on in, made the steal. Doughton gets the ball moving ahead well. O'Korn on the break. Now Hawkeyes, he's in pretty good position, but he'd been better off against a player like O'Korn. Let him go ahead up there and score.
Did a good job laying it up with the left hand, Bill. Protected it well. 3-point play by O'Korn. North Carolina's got its biggest lead, 7 points. Nevitt getting a hand. He's replaced now as Craig Watts returns. Full court zone press by North Carolina.
The Hawks open. Connie Pender loses the ball.
And there's a blocking foul called against John Virgil.
Good call.
Virgil stepped in there too late. You're going to see it here on the replay.
Well, you know, Clyde's pretty difficult to draw the charge against. He's very quick. He gets down low there, and there you can see Virgil riding him on out. Good call by the official.
Second foul on Virgil. Team foul number 3 against North Carolina. State's committed 6. Now they're in a man-for-man press, a different type of defense.
North Carolina really overplaying the passing lanes. Clyde probably got hit a little bit that time.
Here's a lead pass to Dudley Bradley, and he cannot hold it. Goes out of bounds, and State will get it on the turnover.
Boy, there's a testimonial to the 3-man officiating crews. Do you notice where the official was, Jim? Right on the end line, waiting for the play.
Great
no
call.
way 2 guys could possibly cover that particular play.
18-11.
Oh, Bradley.
Look at Bradley's hands. Woo! How would you like to play blackjack against him?
Jim, here's what I was talking about. See where that official is? He's already on the end line. Perfect position to make the call. Impossible for 2 guys to get that kind of court coverage.
Yeah, you got a good look at Bradley's foot, too. Plainly coming down out of bounds.
Plus, those 2 guys were Bello and Ekman.
18-11. Well, if Bello and Ekman here, they would talk these 3 right back in the dressing room. There goes Clyde the Glide.
Oh, nice play.
Nice play by Clyde Austin for State. 18-13. Lead cut back to 5 with 9:23 to go in the first half. State still in the zone. Been in this from the outset.
Oh, that could have been a steal by Tony Warren.
Wood gets in there in good shape. Beautiful touch by Al Wood, his 7th point. 2013, North Carolina back up to a 7-point lead.
And they go a little zone of their own. Now, North Carolina's switching up a lot.
Keeps you off balance.
Yes, it does. And that's Hawk's shot.
There goes Hawk Whitney, a tap on the inside. Now here is a foul on Watts as Doughton comes down, grimacing a little bit. Had a little pain. Remember, he was shaken up on Sunday in a fall against Arkansas. That's the second foul against Craig Watts.
That's Hawkeye Whitney's shot. Pretty good defense by O'Koren coming over the back. And here we'll see Jed Doughton getting a rebound inside there. A good job for a guard to fill back in and make sure there are no loose balls that drop around the foul line area.
We go to the 1-and-1 now for North Carolina. The 7th team foul of the first half against State.
Jim, remember the game here last year? Then Cole Scott and Doughton were called upon to make up for Phil Ford, and they held the ball right before the half and kind of lost some momentum. But no holding the ball tonight.
Nope, they're really going at it tonight. The only strategy here is to get a shot up fast as you can, a good one.
And you notice that cross-court lob won't do much for the weak side if it's a lob pass, but if he can fire it on across there, the man will have time to get the jump shot off.
A little penetration sets up Wood. Rebound is off by Pender.
Good rebound.
Man-for-man defense this time by North Carolina. They switch defenses again. Pender partially blocked. Rebound will come off to Doughton again.
State's really not shooting well on shots that they've been given inside 15, 18 feet.
O'Koren from the wing. Mike O'Koren, 7th point. 22-13. North Carolina up 9, their biggest lead.
See O'Koren going up and coming down in the same spot tonight for the last couple of games, and we've seen him now 3 or 4 in a row, Jim.
There's Bradley. Interception again, Bill. He creates more turnovers anybody we've seen in a while. Oh, there's another at the other end by Watts. Back comes Clyde Austin against Doughton. Austin, 20-footer on the go.
Good pull-up. Al Wood's real tired out there. They're going to have to get him out of the ball game.
7-point lead for North Carolina, 22-15.
Be honest with you, State looks a lot fresher than North Carolina at this point in the game, even though they're behind. Maybe playing the zone is giving them a little respite. And I think Dean Smith sees that too, because he put in a whole new 5.
Yep, there goes Wood penetrating inside again. Wood now leading all scorers in the game with 9 points. 24-15 for the second time. North Carolina leads by 9. Craig Watts in a double team. Threw it away. It'll be North Carolina's ball at midcourt. Again, the defense is generating things for North Carolina. With 6:57 to go in the first half, there's a timeout on the court with the score. North Carolina 24, NC State 15.
Get more for your food.
Put his lanky center, Chuck Nevitt, the freshman, back in the lineup. 7-3, played well for a short stretch here in the first half. He's back in there, playing the middle of the zone. And here goes Virgil, banking on the inside. Won't go, tipped up once. Nevitt has got it. And North Carolina State will take over, trailing by 9. 6 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the first half. Jimmy Black on Clyde Austin.
Now there you see, trying to go over the top again. They do to Nevitt. He gets fouled.
Gets fouled on the play by Pete Budko. They just lobbed it in to the big guy, taking advantage of his height. Budko's first foul.
Really admire Norm Sloan's patience with Nevitt and giving him the opportunity to play right here. Now here you see what I was talking about, going over the top. When everybody overplays you in the front, you either have to go over the top or go back door some. Nevitt got fouled that time on a little push by Budko. Boy, he gives you a big target up there, though, Jim. What's 7'3" and long arms?
Doesn't he remind you of Burleson, though, Bill, at that early age? He may be more slender, perhaps.
Yeah, he's a little bit more slender, if that's possible. But he has the same kind of movement, and he looks like he has the same kind of zest for the game.
He is not to have the Burleson free throw touch, though, Bill. He is out 0 for 8 for the year. This will be his 9th try to come out of the drought.
That's one thing about Tommy a lot of people fail to remember. He was a great free thrower for a big man who went to the line often.
Still a 9-point lead by North Carolina. Randy Wheels in the lineup with Jimmy Black, Yoniker, John Virgil, and Pete Van Budko. That's the lineup for North Carolina. They're resting some of their frontline players, all of them.
Well, if you look at Nevitt's hands on defense, they're well up in the air. And if you look at the size of the spread on him, that's probably why he has a hard time shooting free throws. His hands are so massive, it'd be hard to grip the ball in a smooth fashion.
Weak side pass now to Yoniker from the perimeter, and ball is out of bounds off the hand of North Carolina. Dean Smith asking for some goaltending, but I think the ball had moved out of the cylinder.
I think it had also, and that's one thing you got to give Nevitt credit for being patient up there, because his hands are always going to be around that rim area. Back to the zone.
24 to 15 outside Matthews. Rebound is taken by Randy Wheel for North Carolina. Tar Heels coming down with a 9-point lead. And there's a kick on the play by Tony Warren. And North Carolina now is going to come back with its regular starting 5. Wolf, O'Koren, Bradley, Wolf, and Doughton.
Jim, it's amazing how young athletes in perfect condition can sit down for a minute and a half, and they're right back to where they were at the start of the ball game as far as fresh.
5.5 minutes to go in the first half. A 9-point lead by North Carolina. Stayed in this tight zone defense they've been in from the very beginning.
Well, the defense that State's playing, and nothing wrong with that at all. They've done a good job on defense. What's hurting them is on the other end of the floor, they can't get into any offense. 15 points in 15 minutes.
Long one by O'Koren, and in is Wood for a follow. Al Wood timed that perfectly to get in there to follow up, and North Carolina leads by 11.
And Jim, without that rest that he had, he'd have never gotten to that spot. Now he's fresh again.
Good point. Now here's Hawkeye Whitney, and there's Nevitt at the other end following, and inside is Jones, and he's fouled on the play. State's having trouble finding the hoop, but they are drawing some fouls.
Well, the reason for that is good defense being played against them, and they're having a hard time getting what would be a normal open shot.
Mike O'Koren is guilty of the foul. But Al Wood made some move a moment ago.
Well, he did. He came right through the zone. He's not even in the picture at this point. You see him coming right through the zone. Nobody blocking out there. That's really Tony Warren's responsibility on that side. And Al Wood came through for an easy one.
Art Jones, first basket, a sophomore from Hampton, Virginia. Averaging just under 5 points a game as a reserve for Norman Sloan's Pack, 26 to 16. Leads back to 9 now with 4:49 to go in the first half. Jones with that shot will come off, and Kendall Tiny Pinder returns.
Here we see that tight zone again. Everybody in contact with the foul lane area. And with a lead, North Carolina can be a little bit more patient. Take good shot selection. Use the clock. You notice that normal triangle that North Carolina uses not being as effective tonight. The reason for it is everybody's packed on in. Here you see O'Koren. Normally he'd have a passing lane in that tight.
Another game going tonight. We'll tell you the score of that one in just a moment here. 26 to 17 here. North Carolina leads State with 4 minutes to go. Underneath Wolf. A missed the layup shot. Wolf with a rebound. Puts it up inside and scores over netting. So Jeff Wolf's perseverance pays off.
There's where strength hurts you a little bit. Nevitt on the inside kind of got pushed out of position by Wolf.
Long one by Matthews. Rebound is off by O'Koren. So North Carolina comes down now with a ball and an 11-point lead with 3:45 to go in the first half. Not going to spread it out. Clemson is leading Maryland by 2 points with 5 minutes to go in the first half of their game tonight at Clemson. 34-32 down there.
I listened to their comeback win on the radio traveling the other day over Wake Forest, Jim, and it sounded like the fans had a lot to do with that victory.
Pender, and it is batted away by North Carolina State. Pender almost had a clean steal. Now North Carolina gets it back. Matthews is replaced by Austin, who gets a rest, and with 3:23 to go in the first half, there's a timeout on the court with the score. North Carolina 28, North Carolina State.
As the men ever wanted to be.
Yeah, that's a split between, that was at Maryland. That's a split between those two teams this year. Maryland had one out in Las Vegas.
Here's NC State man-to-man. Norm Sloan wanted to shake things up a little bit. Got to point out, it really hadn't hurt them on the defensive end of the floor. They've been getting killed on the offense, but I think Sloan just wanting to generate something new.
Little shuffle offense now as North Carolina changing his offensive attack against defense. Pretty tight, and there is Walking against O'Korn. Turns it over, so the defense prevails as North Carolina State shifts gears. 3 minutes to go first half.
Dean Smith saying that NC State using the body out there, but good defense by NC State. Now we've got North Carolina going zone, State man-to-man. Good move by Pender.
Pender flashes inside. Rebound is off by Doughton. That's about his third or fourth rebound of the half, and he's only 6'1".
Well, you got to figure the shooting percentage for State in this half has been very, very bad.
And driving in, Kendall Pender had little chance, I think, to take the ball away from a quick player like O'Korn.
Well, fundamentally, this is not a good defensive play right here. He's just reaching. He's not in good position at all. No chance, as you pointed out, Jim, to make the steal. Unless you have the incredible quickness of a Bradley, you're better off playing good fundamental defense with your feet, and then the steals will come when they come.
I think the difference between Tiny there and, say, Bradley. Bradley usually has pretty good balance on his feet reaching.
That's right.
And Pender sort of lunged for the ball. Bonus shot for O'Korn. Mike O'Korn had his career high in rebounds against Duke University last Saturday in our TV game when he got 20.
I think Mike was really disappointed with his outside shooting last week and made up for it by just super play on other parts of his game.
Zone trap at midcourt. Now they've got Hawkeye Whitney open. The weak side pass to Matthews, a pretty good shooter. And here is Wolf putting down the rebound, tied up by Craig Watts.
Hawkeye had his own shot that time and hesitated.
North Carolina will get it anyway, Bill. The rotation is their ball on the jump. There's the little arrow pointing toward the North Carolina basket. Glenn Sutup is going to replace Craig Watts. Sutup's first appearance in this game. A few games back we had here, he had an incredible game against Duke. I guess that might have been his best of all time.
Jim, I think it's a pretty good substitution by Norm Sloan here. He's looking for somebody to do something on the offensive end of the floor, either get some rebounds or make a good shot. There's a Donnie Perkins coming to the game, a kind of guy that can ignite things.
Going to give Hawkeye Whitney a little rest. Full court man-for-man pressure defense by State. So they've changed their defensive strategy by 180 degrees.
One thing this defense also will do is to wear down North Carolina, maybe take something off the strength that they've had on the defensive end of the floor.
Look for North Carolina, go maybe a little back, some backdoor patterns. There it is. O'Korn driving through, feeding to Bradley for an easy one. Quick thinking by O'Korn. 32-17, 15-point lead now, the biggest of the game. The North Carolina lead right now is just continuing to mount here with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Set up, feeds it under to Jones. Trapped in the zone there. He has to clear it back out. Perkins, weak side pass. There's Matthews. Perfect weak side pass. Rebound is off by O'Korn. Took it away from the taller setup.
Boy, it's been one and done. They put it up, and somebody from North Carolina gets it. That's a beautiful drive.
Yep, and a blocking foul on Jones. You could see O'Korn had spotted an opening when he came across midcourt.
And O'Korn handles the ball very, very well in the open court for a man his size. Takes it all the way in. Now, no, fellas are running with their backs turned. Now, you can see nobody was squared up on O'Korn at all. Got his left leg there, but that's not drawing a charge. When you just get the side of a man's leg, you've got to square up with him.
He's having a fine first half. That's 10 points in scoring. He's having another solid rebounding game. And he's been defensing against Hawkeye Whitney, who scored only 2 points.
You can see some of the State players looking at that clock up there. They've got to be patient now, Jim, and try to whittle the lead back. They lost it over a period of 20 minutes. If they're going to get back in the game, they're going to have to whittle it down over a period of 10 or 12. North Carolina playing just super defense. Well,
you can tell a good defensive move by Yoniker. Blocks it down. North Carolina's double the scoring thus far. 34-17.
They let Yoniker wide open.
Good patience here by North Carolina. They may want to spread it out with 1:21 to go.
Now they've got Yoniker and Sutup. Now Yoniker pulling on out. Pretty good move. He's a good ball handler with a guy like Sutup guarding him.
Wood's going to take it in. Basket's good, but a charging foul on Wood. Not a bad trade. That's 13 points and a half for Wood in his first foul.
He's gained a lot of confidence, too. Good move by Wood on the inside. Now, there's Matthews actually fouled him before he got in there. Good play by Donnie Perkins. I don't agree with the call. I think Perkins moved in there a little bit too late, but B-State's ball.
12-2 now. North Carolina's outscored State. 12-2. 36-17.
It's been all defense.
There goes Perkins, jump shot, rebound tipped on the outside, taken by Dudley Bradley.
Well, I don't think I've seen a game like this in a long time, Jim, where a team was this cold and couldn't get it on the boards.
Hook shot by Yoniker. North Carolina is red hot here, 38-17, a 21-point lead with 33 seconds to go in the half. North Carolina State almost looks bewildered, Bill, by all this.
They do. They just can't get a shot off on the offensive end of the court and any kind of consistency. That was a good play by Clyde Austin.
Just got one there, Clyde the Glide, and there was a foul on the play against Dudley Bradley. It's his first one. Clemson stalled the last 5 minutes of their halftime, so that score ended up the same as we gave you a moment ago. 34-32, no scoring in the last 5 minutes. So it looks like another close game down there between the Tigers and the Terrapins.
Well, I can see Lefty being behind is going to say, look, you're playing on your court. Come on, let's play the game of basketball. I'll go back in the zone. They probably had one of those deals where one man out, one man back. One man out, one back. Fun to announce.
38-19. 4 corners here by North Carolina. 9 seconds to go. They're waiting for the last shot of the half. 6 seconds. O'Korn. Now Yoniker, 15-footer. Got a good shot with 3 seconds to go. State will not have time. The 75-foot throw as the time runs out in the first half. Dominated by North Carolina, the nation's second-ranked team. They took over arch rival North, and Maryland came back and won the ball game. Okay, State gets the ball on the out-of-bounds rotation, and we're underway in the second half. Man-for-man defense taken away. Doughton and Bradley's fouled in backcourt by Tiny Pender. So North Carolina looked like maybe it grabbed the initial momentum at least to start the second half.
What's that animal that lays out in the desert that flicks its tongue out? You ever see that thing in slow motion?
Anteater?
That's what Bradley's hands look like. Gosh almighty, they come out so quick.
The blur, we're going to have to call him. 40-19, North Carolina leads. Second half is just underway. Back door, they caught O'Korn leaning the wrong way. State is open up in a sticky man-for-man defense they used in the late stages of the first half after they fell so far behind. Now North Carolina picking up all over. Man-for-man press.
And you notice, Jim, this year North Carolina on that sideline press never guards the man taking the ball out of bounds, uses a defensive man in the back. Nice move by the Hawk.
Good move by Hawk, and he's pushed on the inside. I think it's Wolf. Pushing off on the inside by Wolf. That'll be his second.
It's a good reverse dribble that time by Hawkeye. That's one of the few times he's been able to handle the ball tonight at the forward position. Gets fouled, was in a position to rebound his own shot. Great young player here.
Oh, he looks great, doesn't he? He's taken off about 30 or 35 pounds from last year. I asked Coach Sloan, I said, you know, Hawkeye had a little slump last year. He said, no, he didn't have a little slump. He just had a bad year from start to finish because of that extra weight.
Now there's a case where 40-21 looks a lot different than 40-19. One of those oddball scores that you see on a scoreboard every once in a while.
Yeah, those teens are very depressing when they're your score.
Still playing tight man-to-man.
You see North Carolina, they'll be going by pulling the string a little bit here against this pressing man-for-man.
Corn had the jump shot and didn't take it. They can afford to be patient, looking for the real good shot. Good overplay by Tony Warren. Just good defense out here.
They're playing deny defense. Hawkeye on Bradley. Ball's batted away. Bradley will recover. And a foul as reaching in was Tony Warren. A very aggressive defense thrown up here by NC State. Being applauded right here by the coach. So they're doing just what Sloan wants.
Now coming from behind. Now Tony Warren had this one all measured up. And he gets a little piece of the arm. You can see him taking Bradley's hand right with him.
Second team foul of the half, so North Carolina will just put the ball in play. Got 5 seconds to get it in play.
It's 5.
5 seconds to turn it over to State.
Dean Smith saying, why? Why? It can't be 5 seconds, but that's a good call. Even if he had made the pass, it wouldn't have been touched by anybody.
You got to make it. Someone's got to touch it inbounds within 5 seconds after it's put in play. 40-21.
It's a big basket right here to see if State can get some momentum going on the offensive end.
As Hawkeye Whitney on the
That's his
drive. Now State has cut 4 points into the lead, 40-23.
Doughton's
And a
down.
half. Jed Doughton getting the ball back, almost stumbled and fell. Could be a pivotal play on the part of Doughton and getting back the ball.
Playing at home, you know the fans are going to get involved in this ball game, Jim.
Boy, State is really sticking here on the man-for-man defense.
North Carolina not having an opportunity to get into their game plan at all.
State now has taken the momentum with their defense, just as North Carolina did in the first half.
And the way State's playing it, they're playing it right against
There
the passing
again,
game.
by a second time, Doughton anticipated, and O'Korn went backdoor at the wrong time.
Jim, I want to point out something. This is the same offense that State runs, so you figure their fellows defensively are used to seeing it in practice every day.
40-23. Pender trapped in the double team. Austin outside the perimeter. State now just as hot as they were cold in the first half, and State has cut it down to 15.
You can believe Dean Smith's not going too many more times down the court before he calls the timeout.
40-25. North Carolina's yet to score. They're starting the second half just as they did the first, when State jumped out ahead 4-0.
Good play by Hawkeye Whitney. He's got to help out on O'Korn because you know they want to get O'Korn in tight.
Bradley driving, blocked and fouled by Whitney. That's 3 fouls on Hawkeye Whitney. 40-25. First player to get a third foul.
Here's the drive by Bradley. Good penetration. Hawkeye I'm sure in his mind I've got to help out on O'Korn behind me. That gave Bradley an opportunity to go all the way. Fans booing a little bit, saying he wasn't in the act of shooting, but I think it was kind of obvious that he was.
He was going right in there to shoot. You don't have to be getting the shot off. You're just into the motion. That's the only thing that counts. Bradley had quite a defensive performance over the weekend. He had 3 steals in the last 4 minutes against Duke, 3 in the last 5 against Arkansas. And a near steal here by Bradley, but State now is coming down on the break. Kendall Pender, short jump shot. I don't think State's missed a shot in the second half.
I'm really surprised that Dean Smith's going without a timeout here, Jim. They've scored 1 point against State.
8-1. State's outscored them here in the first 3 minutes of the second half. It's 41-27. 17 minutes with a lot of time to go. State coming back.
North Carolina trying to get an obvious layup.
And there goes O'Korn with it. Missed the layup. Off by Pender. Give State another opening here. They can cut it down to 12. Hawkeye Whitney driving. Hawkeye Whitney with the rebound. Hooks it down
big
on the
play.
Foul by Wolf, his third. Hawkeye Whitney gets his 8th point.
You can see Dean Smith telling everybody it's all right, but he's got to be worried a little bit. The Hawk goes through, pulls his way in. Thing I like about this is a super rebounding effort coming back. Makes a great scoop shot, gets fouled.
Possible 3-point play by Hawkeye Whitney. It's 41-29. It was 40-19 at the half, 10-1, 11-1. State has outscored North Carolina in just 3.5 minutes.
And here's the guy right here with the ball that is probably in the best position to try to go ahead and take something, putting the ball on the floor and scoring at the other end.
As a blocking foul against Pender. That's 4 fouls on Kendall Tiny Pender. So Korn just challenged Pender, who picked up his 4th foul.
And that's team foul number 4 early in the half. Dean Smith hoping for a TV timeout right here. He'd like to talk to his team, but he doesn't want to waste one.
Art Jones replaces Pender in the lineup. Pender now goes to the sidelines, 41-30.
They're looking for O'Korn. You can see they're just counting on him to get him a basket.
A lob inside, broken up by Jones. All he had to do is let it go because Wood had turned his back.
That's right, Jim. Well, he's so anxious. You can tell that the State fans and players There they go, a little zone in the out of bounds. Let's see if they try to readjust up. No, they're going to stay in the zone.
Quite a contrast between the two halves thus far.
Clyde Austin doing a job.
Austin blocked that, has the long arms. North Carolina playing very patiently here.
Lost a lot of momentum, and Jim, you know they were getting a lot of momentum, getting a lot of rebounds in the first half.
Now here's Dudley Bradley, baseline. Rebound. Bradley runs it down for North Carolina. Big offensive rebound for Bradley. That puts State back in a zone defense. Out of the man for the moment.
Watching the two coaches, really a contrast. Dean Smith sitting back. There's another foul.
Yep. Wood charging in there, and he is fouled on the play. Personal foul is going to be on Tony Warren. It'll be 2 shots coming when we come back to Al Wood, but there's timeout on the court with a score. North Carolina 41, State 30. Now here's a word from the company that's 5:32. Leads right back to 13 points.
Here's Jones, who has real quick feet. A great track man on O'Korn.
Yoniker driving.
Now Jones without a man right now finally finds Bradley.
They're going to go to 4 corners, Bill. North Carolina's going to spread out to their 4-corner attack with over 14 minutes to go and a 13-point lead.
Well, one thing you got to remember, and that might have been it. Let's see who the foul is. If it's on Hawkeye, that is a big, big one. I was just going to say the one thing the 4 corners can do is put Hawkeye in trouble. 4
fouls on Hawkeye Whitney. Now North Carolina State gets back on thin ice again. Had a brilliant rally going, but Whitney gets his 4th, and North Carolina is now trying to change around the momentum of this game. They switched off to their 4-corner attack. A move and strategy by Dean Smith, and let's see how it pays off.
Well, I think we're going to see the 4 corners used primarily here, not as a weapon for the clock, but as a weapon to clear out for O'Korn, who's really tough to handle. And Hawkeye Whitney, who has 4 fouls on him, a guy that Norm Sloan has to have in the game on the offensive end of the floor. And you see he's keeping him into the ball game right now. May go ahead and make a substitution to give him a little bit rest. And with so much time to go in the ball game, he's got to make a decision. Do we keep him in there and let him get the points for us and take the chance on the 5th foul? That's the way he's going.
Well, he comes back in with Pender, but he comes out with Jones. So Pender and Whitney both playing with 4 fouls apiece. Bonus shot by O'Korn. The thing O'Korn gives you in the middle of the 4 corners, the same thing Phil Ford did. He's an excellent free thrower. So if that man's going to draw fouls, has a good chance of converting. 47-32. North Carolina back to a 15-point lead. Still over 14 minutes to go. Zone defense, 2-3. Now they're going to try to force State to shoot outside.
And they're going to slow down the game a little bit by going zone.
They got Matthews, a good outside shooter. Hawkeye Whitney, a good penetrator. Clyde Austin's out of there at the moment. They'd like to have him against the zone.
Well, they took him out and brought in Tony Warren, probably to get a little bit more defensive pressure.
Pender baseline. Rebound is off by Yoniker. It amazes me how he can hold that ball in his fingertips on one hand. Jimmy Black in for the 4 corners. So Black and Jed Doughton, 2 guards are in there, plus O'Korn to work the middle here, the spread attack.
Now, one thing State is pretty sure of is that Doughton's not going to take it all the way in there for a layup. He's going to dish off. So the fellows will hold their ground that are playing in the wing positions.
Up there's a steal. Now here comes Pender down against O'Korn for the stop.
Well, that's a hard dunk that he made there. Switched hands in midair, almost like an acrobat.
47-34, 13 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the game.
A lot of time. Pender on O'Korn, and O'Korn's the one in open court area. It'll be toughest to handle. You can see Tony Warren trying to cheat on Doughton. But if you cheat too much, there's always an open passing lane, Jim.
Yoniker way outside to Doughton. Fans thought, there goes Yoniker faking a drive through, spins around for a layup. What a pivot.
Got to protect the basket. the basket as a defensive player.
49-34. North Carolina back to 15-point spread. 12:30 to go. Long one by Matthews. He's their outside threat against the zone. 49-36. Clock shows 12:22 to go. This is going to be a heart thumper, I think, the rest of the way.
Tiny Pinder tried to call a timeout, and O'Koren had the ball. This is the matchup that's tough.
Yeah, there goes O'Koren. Oh, they're really looking for the certain shot basket. Jimmy Black penetrating, and there it is. Al Wood in front, under guard, still scores.
Jimmy Black is going to be really tough in the four corners with a little bit more experience because he's got the great quickness and sees the floor well.
State's going to get a timeout here. Just under 12 minutes to go. There's timeout on the court. The score, North Carolina 51, North Carolina State 36.
If you or someone you love.
Black, we talked about him being ready for the four corners. He gets one stolen here. Now here's that dunk by Tiny Pinder. Right hand on over. Boy, he came a long way. That angle, which showed the stuff going right on through the basket. The other angle we had on the actual play, Jim, he must have taken off 12 feet away from the basket.
I don't know whether coaches like it or not, Bill, but as a fan, I think the dunk has put more excitement into basketball than anything they've done in years.
I'd have to agree with you. There's Norm Sloan back again trying to tell his troops we've got to make another run.
Lenny Wirtz puts the ball in play. North Carolina State down by 15 points. Made quite a run here to start the second half. Tony Warren feeds under to Nevitt. A great block and by Wood, and Nevitt puts it right back. Great follow by Chuck Nevitt.
Nevitt doesn't have a man right now. Yoniker is the fellow that he's guarding. Won't be surprised to see them move Yoniker out into the backcourt and let Nevitt have to play him.
There goes O'Koren driving in, drawing the foul. Foul on the play will be against Art Jones, I believe. Yep, and that'll be for Jones. Number 2.
Well, you can't teach a man to be tall. Here's the block right there by Wood. Nevitt gets it right back. By the time Wood gets ready to go back up again, Nevitt's already still there and puts it back through. He's going to be a player.
2 shots to O'Koren. O'Koren's now hit 8 in a row and 14 points.
Jim, if you're Norm Sloan, you're sitting on the bench, you say, hey, this is the guy that's going to cause us the problem. We almost have to guard him with a guard-type defensive player because he's just too quick for the forwards.
Like a Perkins, maybe, huh? There's Hawkeye Whitney driving on the inside. Rebound is coming off to Wood. 53-38. North Carolina with the ball and a 15-point lead. We'll keep you up on the time. 11:10 to go.
See now with Nevitt going ahead and playing Yoniker, there will always be a passing lane unless Nevitt is going to come out. And Norm Sloan tell him, you come out and play the man, prevent him from having an open passing lane. And once again, I doubt if Doughton will take the ball all the way down inside.
Doughton fouled on the play by Tony Warren. Second foul on Warren. North Carolina's in the bonus. So Doughton will go to the line now for the 1-and-1. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Let's see what he's done on the year. Hitting 71%, so not too bad. 71.4.
And we ought to point out down on the far end of the bench is Dave Colescott, who looks a lot better tonight than he, I'm sure, did a couple of days ago when he got that eye damaged in the Duke game.
That's a peculiar injury. Fractured the bony part of the eye socket, and there's a danger of the eye falling into that. If it does, there'll be surgery required.
I asked him what hit him. He said, I don't know, but it felt like a brick.
Well, that was one of the extremities of Mr. Zeminski. 55-38, 17-point lead. Warren up and foul by Dudley Bradley. 3 fouls on Bradley. A defensive leader for North Carolina. Off the hand. Dudley says, what?
Well, one of the things when you get to be such an outstanding defensive player, not only fundamentally as Bradley is, but you start getting a reputation, then one of 2 things happen. Either
get away with a lot.
That's right. Either you get away with a lot or refs start looking at you and say, hey, nobody's that quick.
Warren will get a second shot. Had a great year last year as a junior. 2 by Warren, cuts it back to 15 again. 55-40.
Here you see Nevitt dropping all the way back. It does no good to pressure the man with the ball if he's going to have an open passing lane. Everybody's got to play a little bit of defense.
There he is. Yannick with Nevitt. Faked the back door, and now here comes Bradley back out to get it.
You have 4 men playing real hard-nosed defense and one guy slacking off. And he's not doing it intentionally. It's just not something he's accustomed to, I'm sure, in his short collegiate experience. He's not used to playing a man 35 feet from the basket. And he got a hand there.
Yep. That'll be a foul on the play against Chuck Nevitt. Tops.
Now he's starting to push that shot a little bit instead of that smooth motion he normally has. It's kind of like a shot putter out there. Kind of surprising to see a guy with the technique let it get away from him. Same thing on that shot, but he prayed it on in there.
8-point lead, 64-56. 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. State not wasting any time. Quick one up by Matthews.
It's a shame he can't shoot, huh, Jim?
Oh, boy, can he shoot. He's hit his last 4 in a row. 64-58. Jimmy Black breaking through. Now Dudley Bradley is cut off. Bradley needing help.
He was looking for the 5-second play.
North Carolina for a long time in this spread didn't seem to be attacking. Now they seem to be attacking a little bit more. They've cleared out for Bradley one-on-one against Hawkeye, who has 4 fouls.
Well, nobody, when a man's picking up his dribble, nobody is cutting off the passing lanes. Like right now, everybody has to really play tough during that period.
Inside the 3-minute mark. 64-58.
5
There's
seconds.
the jump ball, and it's going to be North Carolina's ball. A jump ball, but it sets the stage for the State defense. That's the intriguing thing, Bill.
That's right.
Here's a final. Maryland 77, Clemson 63. A big win on the road tonight for the Terrapins.
The Mayo Clinic examination has taken place, and there's
right back here, Duke against State. Deep pass in the backcourt goes to Doughton. State now with a defensive pressure.
There's Perkins on Wood.
Looking for help. 5 seconds, and it'll go to State.
Now State is really doing a great job against the 4 corners right now. Everybody's playing solidly on their own man, making a guy pick up the dribble with the ball and then preventing an outlet pass.
State now can cut the lead to 4 points. Incredible comeback by the Wolfpack. They trail by 21 at the half. 64-58, and they've really had a sizzling hot hand here in the second half.
See, they have a very quick team in the game right now. North Carolina trying to play a man-to-man. There's the foul.
Yep, there's a foul as Clyde Austin is fouled on the play. Foul is against Al Wood. That'll be his second. And a 2-shotter, I think, to Clyde Austin, who scored 12 points.
Kind of surprised North Carolina is not staying with a tight zone right now. Matthews has really hurt the zone, but we'll see Clyde the Glide coming on through here right now. Nobody squared up. Clyde makes the good move by weaseling in between the 2 players. Al Wood being one and gets it off.
Austin trims the margin to 5, and a shot to come, and still 2.5 minutes to go. So hang on to your seats. I think he tried to miss it, and there goes a block on the shot by Wood. Lost out of bounds, will go to State.
Now there's a case where the backboard is still shaking, Jim. I don't understand why this call is not made more. The backboard is still shaking. North Carolina player went up, slapped against the board. That should be a technical foul.
Happened once on by each team tonight.
That's right.
Now here's Matthews, the opposite side.
That's a
rebound,
foul.
and there's a foul. That's going to be on Matthews, charging through. Costly foul for State. Matthews, second foul, and North Carolina will go to the line.
Here we see Matthews going up. He's been great from the outside. He just tries to go into the pack and shock them all right here for the rebound. Knocks Doughton out of the way. Good call by the official. And there's Tiny Pender up there, and Rich pulled off some good ones.
Rich Yannick, who's 0 for 2 at the line.
Looked good on that one.
Yeah, he has a pretty good free throw stroke here, especially for a big guy, 6'9". Good follow through.
Excellent follow through on both of those shots.
66-59, 7-point lead by North Carolina.
And
2
here's
minutes
the zone.
and 10 seconds to go. Back to zone right. Perkins feeds down the middle of Hawkeye, and there's a foul. Whitney fouls. He drove through there. Going to be on Doutner Black. I think it's on Black. That'll be Jimmy Black's first foul.
Good, solid play by Donnie Perkins on the drive. Great catch by Hawkeye Whitney, because that ball was thrown like a bullet, and he came through almost in position to make the three-point play had it not been for Dudley Bradley.
Whitney hasn't missed from the line tonight. 13 points he scored. 14. Whitney had not been that much of a force against North Carolina. Last 2 games last year, he scored 10 points in one game and 7 in another. And another story here in the second half tonight. He has scored 13 points in the second half alone. Jimmy Black getting away from Matthews. Exactly 2 minutes to go. A 5-point lead by North Carolina. And there is a foul. Yoniker fouled on the play. Personal foul is against Matthews. That'll be the 3rd one on him. Well, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank Director of Athletics Willis Casey, our halftime guest, head basketball coach Norman Sloan and his staff, and Sports Information Director Ed Seaman from North Carolina State for their help in tonight's telecast. And from North Carolina, we'd like to thank Director of Athletics Bill Kobe. Let's watch this shot here. Bonus now coming for Yoniker. Also thanks to head coach Dean Smith and his staff, and Sports Information Director Rick Brewer, and our stage manager Ed Bedingfield. 2 by Yoniker are big ones here for North Carolina. Gives them a 7-point lead with 1:50 to go. Matthews has really had a hot hand. He continues. Doughton can't hold it, and it'll go to State. 1:41 to go, a 5-point lead, and North Carolina's turned it over in the face of a really outstanding defense.
Well, there's a lot of heart out here on the part of North Carolina State team to come back. Now, here's a case where nobody's setting a screen for anyone else. So the defensive play on the part of North Carolina State can afford to overplay.
Perkins in the air, quick pass. Now Hawkeye Whitney drills it.
Boy, this is some comeback. One of the all-timers.
68 to 65. 3-point lead with 1 minute and 27 seconds to go.
Place. Not only is it a technical, but he violated the space. But I think the Hawks shot went in. I was watching that, not even watching the shot. Not a smart move at all by Jimmy Black.
Not only can State tie the score right here, but they can wind up with the ball on a tie score. Whitney still has a free throw to go to make it 60.
I think this would be a good time for Dean Smith to take another timeout and settle his club down.
Well, the first free throw was not allowed, Bill, and he had made it.
I think I think it should have counted, and I'll tell you why. He was violating the lane. He ought to either get a chance to try it over again.
Now this one. Now they get a technical shot. Now will come the technical free throw. Hawkeye will take that at 68-66. Boy, if they give Whitney that first one,
I think it should have counted, Jim.
Technical free throw right there.
With a Hawk going through some motion.
43 seconds to go. It's North Carolina State's ball after the technical foul. What a turnaround. State hasn't led in this game since it was 4-2.
I wonder when's the next time that we'll find a team holding the ball this long against the Pack. Last year in the game here, North Carolina tried to hold it for a long time, and the Wolfpack came back. Now look at the press they're in. 1-3-1 half court.
Long one by Matthews. A quick
he hit it! This
North
is an
Carolina
incredible
State is
comeback.
in the lead. 69-68. 25 seconds to go. Amazing comeback. One of the greatest in the history of this league, I'm sure. Bradley, 25-footer. Rebound is off by State. 15 seconds to go.
I can't believe it myself watching this game.
10 seconds to go.
Oh, Bradley with a steal.
The ball. Dudley Bradley. 5 seconds to go. North Carolina, here's Matthews, a chance to win it. 35-footer.
Oh, incredible ending.
North Carolina has won the game on Dudley Bradley's steal. What an unbelievable play, Bill. How about this by Bradley?
Bradley gets the only way State can lose the game is on this play, and Bradley does it. Incredible. Go ahead, pick it.
All right, for that, we're going to name Dudley Bradley as our player.
Drama as he comes up to the free throw line.
All right, here we take a look at it again. Now watch down at the bottom of your picture. There's Bryant. Now Gross is underneath. Watch Gross go straight up in the air. Watch the left arm of Joe Bryant makes the contact. That was not a foul on Bobby Gross.
An excellent acting by Bryant with an 8-point, make it still 8. Lucas off. 98-90. 4 minutes and 51 seconds left in the spectrum. This, the pivotal game. Number 5, knocked away by Irving. And Bibby and Hollins tied up, but it was Julius who came around and slapped it free.
Portland all of a sudden have lost their composure. They're pressing a little bit. They're not sure of themselves. They're letting this pressure that the Sixers are putting on affect them adversely, to say the least.
Bryant goes with Lucas. Jones has Walton. Collins is with Twardzik. Bibby is on Hollins. Irving with Calhoun. Here's Walton. Hollins cuts around him and comes up with a left-handed jump shot. Hit by Bill. Bryant pulls it down. Outlet for Irving. Joe Bryant has given him a spark. Irving to the basket. The doctor came through. 98-92. 4-13. Pressure suddenly on the Trailblazers, who have played magnificently until the last couple of minutes. Bryant helping out, double teaming on Walton, but I think he may have fouled him backing into him. Yes, he did.
No, there was a foul underneath the basket. The foul was on Joe Bryant on Bill Walton, but nobody could hear the whistle. The crowd was so noisy. And here's the doctor coming. Now look, he hardly has no room at all on the baseline. He's behind the basket, reaches out and lays it in. Great play by the doctor. He's got 35, as you see there. But the crowd was so noisy, Brent, you couldn't hear the whistle.